There's this undeniable pull towards true crime stories,
Right.
right? That curiosity about the hidden parts of human nature.
Definitely.
But what happens when those mysteries aren't just old case files, but they're unfolding like right now online?
Yeah, dynamically in the digital world.
Exactly. So today we're taking a deep dive into that really fascinating, sometimes kind of creepy, and honestly often bizarre world of internet mysteries, online crime, and all those unsettling stories that pop up online.
And our mission really is to figure out how these stories kind of reveal surprising things about our interconnected world.
Yeah, giving you a shortcut sort of to understanding this whole new landscape of true crime.
And for this deep dive, we've pulled together, well, quite a mix of sources. We've got curated lists about cybercrime, deep discussions from online forums obsessed with internet mysteries,
Hmm.
even stuff from streaming service catalogs and academic studies. The idea is to connect the dots, between things that seem separate online and see what bigger picture emerges, give you that analytical edge.
Right, because the way crime happens, how it's investigated, even how we hear about it, it's all shifted so much because of the internet.
Totally.
It's not just about, dusting for fingerprints at a scene anymore. Now it's digital trails, global networks, crimes that literally couldn't exist without the web.
That's the key.
So this deep dive should hopefully give you some of those aha moments about, well, what crime looks like today.
hmm
Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. The sheer ingenuity, the audacity really in cybercrime and these digital heists. How are criminals using tech in ways that just change the game from even 10 years ago?
Well, what's really striking, I think, is the scale and the sophistication.
Mm.
Our sources point to figures like Alpha 2.
Ah, yes.
This guy was basically a kingpin, overseeing millions of dollars a day in online drug sales on the dark web, naturally.
Millions a day.
Yeah, a corner of the internet built for anonymity, right?
All right.
So for the cybercrime folks, he was like public enemy number one,
Mhm.
total mystery.
Right.
And then you have things like drug syndicates betting big on encrypted phones, thinking, okay, we're totally secure now.
But they weren't.
Nope. Law enforcement, kind of subtly, turned those very tools against them, got backdoor access. That belief in perfect digital privacy, it backfired badly.
And it's not just individuals or gangs, is it? You mentioned nation states before we started. North Korea's hackers, for example.
Oh, yeah. They've reportedly raked in billions, actual billions, for the regime.
How? Like, what are they doing?
All sorts of schemes, ATM heists, massive cryptocurrency thefts. I mean, when you have a nation state effectively running a global online criminal enterprise,
What does that tell you? It's like digital security, I mean.
it tells you the threat landscape is, well, it's borderless. And it's
Mhm.
getting more and more complex. These aren't just random attacks. They're sustained, well-funded campaigns.
Right.
There's one article that calls the Olympic destroyer hack the most deceptive in history.
Olympic destroyer. Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
It details how Russian hackers apparently used Ukraine as a kind of test lab for cyber war.
A test lab.
Yeah, deploying malware meant to cripple energy grids, financial systems, testing things out.
That's unsettling.
Deeply unsettling.
Ooh.
And the implication in the source is, okay, if it works there, the U.S. could be next. Digital infrastructure is now effectively a front line.
So the scale, the global reach, it's reshaping everything from national security to basic law enforcement. But it's not just states and huge syndicates, right? There are individuals, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Like that Silk Road story, the one involving Curtis Green, a postman, and was it Coca-Cola?
Yeah, 64 ounces of Coke.
Yeah.
It just highlights these bizarre ways the digital underworld bumps into the physical one.
It really does. Or those young and reckless teen hackers, the ones who got the keys to Microsoft's gaming empire.
Right. It shows the spectrum, doesn't it?
Right.
From nation states with geopolitical motives down to, well, teenagers looking for access or maybe just chaos.
A whole spectrum of motives and capabilities.
Exactly. The internet gives both the tools and the reach. Unprecedented efficiency for crime.
And building on that efficiency, another huge area is cryptocurrencies. Obviously innovative tech, but man, have they become fertile ground for crime.
Oh, definitely.
What is it about crypto that makes it so appealing to criminals, even with that whole blockchain traceability thing people talk about?
Well, the perceived anonymity is still a massive draw.
Mm.
And just how easy it is to move money across borders, almost instantly.
Right.
But like you said, there's that paradox. It offers a veil, sure, but it also creates this permanent public record of transactions.
So it's not totally untraceable.
Not at all. And investigators can follow the money. It takes work, specialized tools, But it's doable. It's often overlooked, that part.
And we've seen some wild cases because of that, haven't we? Like the crypto trap.
Hmm.
That was the Bitcoin bust that took down the web's biggest child abuse site. A really powerful example of tracking digital currency, turning their shield into a weapon against them.
Exactly. And then there was that massive $250 million crypto heist.
Oh, yeah. What happened there?
Well, the investigators unraveled it not just with digital forensics, analyzing the blockchain data,
Huh?
but also through really old school stuff. Clues like luxury cars, these insane $500,000 bar tabs, even a mysterious kidnapping attempt mixed in there.
So it's this weird mix of super high-tech crime and like classic gangster movie tropes.
Pretty much. It really shows how digital currencies create totally new challenges, but also new opportunities for both sides, criminals and investigators.
The tools just keep evolving.
Constantly. It's a very sophisticated cat and mouse game now.
Okay, so that's the overt digital crime side. Astonishing stuff.
Hmm.
But the internet also has this other kind of dark allure, doesn't it? These online mysteries, the unsettling stories, the rabbit holes you fall into.
Right, this whole other category.
How do we even start to categorize that? It feels like a new kind of folklore, almost. And why is it so sticky? Why do people get hooked on these things, sometimes even more than traditional true crime?
Well, this category, it ranges from, dark web legends to the weird stuff on paranormal forums, odd threads that just take on a life of their own. It's often defined by, as one source put it, mystery, darkness, weirdness, and unsettling bits.
Unsettling bits. I like that.
Yeah. And what's interesting is it's often less about a finished crime with a clear answer and more about an ongoing puzzle, like a digital campfire story.
Where the monsters might be memes.
Exactly, or collective fictions, or just the plain creepy unknown. But they feel disturbingly real to the people deep in those communities. It taps right into that basic human desire for the unexplained.
But it's collaborative, right? User-generated.
Totally, which is different.
And there's even academic interest now. Digital folklore, analyzing monsters, memes, internet urban legends, conspiracies, viral crazes, like, seriously.
Yeah, through the proper lens of academic folklore studies.
What makes them so compelling academically? Is it just that they're spooky?
It's more about how they reflect and actually shape our collective anxieties and beliefs, like in real time. They grow organically, often without one clear author. It's a new kind of communal storytelling, really. We found sources mentioning things like hunting warhead.
Oh, I heard about that one. Tough listen, apparently.
Described exactly like that. Tough listen, but interesting. Really delves into that online darkness. And then podcasts like Glitch, they had a spooky episode called The Green Man. Or another one, Don't Look Under the Internet, focusing specifically on online paranormal phenomenon. It shows how much these stories resonate way beyond niche forums.
It really does underscore how these things, born from just users sharing stuff, use the internet's power to become these global, real-time pursuits of the unexplained, blurring lines between just consuming a story and actually, like, participating in it.
Yeah, and if we connect that to the bigger picture, well, it becomes super clear how much the digital world now messes with, or rather intertwines with, traditional true crime.
Interwoven is a good word. The lines aren't just blurred, they're tangled.
Right.
You see examples where stuff happening online directly leads to real-world crime, right? Or exposes it, or just becomes a massive part of the story. Like that unbelievable tale, the fake hitman, the kill list, the darknet vigilante, and an actual murder.
Right. The source was pretty clear that most, if not all, hitman-for-hire sites on the dark web are scams. Complete scams.
But people still end up dead sometimes.
Yeah. The scam starts online, digital deception, but the consequence.
Yeah.
Tragically real, fatal offline outcomes. It shows that leap.
Wow. And then there are the cases where online communities actually get involved in solving things.
Oh, yeah. Don't flock with cats. Hunting an internet killer.
Classic example, right?
Wow.
Online sleuths working together.
It's fascinating. You have this scattered group of amateurs, basically, using the internet to become this force that even, professional law enforcement eventually had to take seriously.
That collective digital action.
Yeah.
It's powerful. Or what about the most hated man on the internet? That really explored the public reaction, the digital fallout when someone becomes notorious online.
Yet the speed and scale of that public demonization, it's chilling. How quickly someone can be exposed globally.
It makes you think about older cases too, doesn't it? Like the Great Paper Caper, the super prolific counterfeiter.
Right.
Imagine that today. The internet wouldn't just be where you maybe show tips. It'd be the distribution network, the place to get schematics for advanced printing, the global marketplace for the fakes.
Making detection exponentially harder. Yeah, totally different ballgame.
And even stuff that seems old school, like train robberies?
Well, the great freight train heists of the 21st century. That source highlighted how the boom in e-commerce creates just vast new opportunities.
Yeah.
All those goods moving around, prime targets. And they often coordinate digitally now.
Right, and then you get figures like Bike Batman.
Yeah. The unconventional vigilante stumbled into finding stolen goods. As the source said, sometimes the cape finds you.
Even if the cape is just like a bike helmet and a smartphone in our hyper-connected world.
Exactly. It shows how even vigilantism adapts.
The internet just makes these you have to see it to believe it stories so much more accessible, but also, yeah, way more complex to figure out for everyone involved.
Requires a whole new level of digital literacy, doesn't it?
It really does. So, okay, we've gone through these digital depths, the dark web crime, the crypto heists, the unsettling online rabbit holes. What's the takeaway here? What does this all mean for you listening right now? Why should you care?
Well, diving into these stories, it's not just, morbid curiosity or entertainment. It really sharpens your critical thinking.
How so?
It helps you learn how to evaluate digital evidence, how to understand the threats that are out there, how to just sort reliable information from the noise online, which is a crucial skill now.
True, there's so much noise.
And it sheds light on how those lines between the online and offline, they're just increasingly blurred, especially with crime and mystery. Understanding that makes you, well, a more informed digital citizen, basically.
So we've journeyed through some pretty complex stuff. Sophisticated cyber attacks, crypto chaos, those weird online rabbit holes, and the unique mysteries that only seem to pop up because we're all so connected now.
A world where, yeah, your digital footprint can be a weapon or the key clue, both sides of the coin.
Right.
And looking ahead, it leaves you with this, I think, provocative thought.
Okay.
How will the constant evolution of the internet, and now things like AI coming into the mix, how will that keep shaping crime and mystery? Will it change not just how crimes are done, but maybe even what we consider a mystery?
That's a big question.
And how will our understanding, our pursuit of justice, how will that adapt to these constantly shifting digital landscapes?
Because the internet ensures the story. It's never really over, is it?
Never truly over. Always evolving.